Holito Chamuengapo Holiso Hentuk Shata. In this video, I want to talk about how um, America is in a mention for relearning who they once were. I saw this video 7 years ago, and it just popped up in my recommendations again, and I had to peruse through it. She once said in this video that I'm not sure if it was this one or the other one, but she said at the end, like towards the end, she said, um, "Blacks are the indigenous people. Just find out what tribe you are from." She said that in one of these videos, and her name is Uniza Lone Wolf. You can look at her face and tell she's related to Kyrie Irving's maternal side. She is related to what's another guy name? It's another guy on here. He makes videos, but that's that Sioux blood, that Lakota. So that's in the Midwest. When you look at how they talking to each other in there, and they have their language and stuff like that, and you look at people in Chicago, that's a Midwest thing. I just think what really happened in that area of Oklahoma, because Oklahoma, they have so many, because they have a city council down there. That's just they got so many ways to speak in different languages. Like you can look at their city council and look at their city ordinances. They have a translation for it in Zulu. I was surprised by that. I wasn't expecting that, but they have a Zulu translation for their codes and ordinances. So you look at our people in the North, we're not there yet, man. Because the people in the South, they understand the importance of staying out of people's business and staying cute in on learning who they are. It's another woman on here. She's dark skinned like her, and she makes videos about being in Oklahoma. She makes videos about her Native American heritage, and she uploads very regularly. She's in school, right? So this is something, and she looks like her kind of. This is something that we need to make sure is protected, because I can't say this enough. She brought up a lot of environmental issues in the videos she's been on Breakfast Club. She's a believer in Minister Louis Farrakhan. A lot of people in Chicago aren't, because he's in Chicago. That organization, it could have done a lot of better things as far as controlling the community. But as you can see, they can't control the community. They can't have the people. They can't force the people to learn about themselves and their history. They took the black route, and obviously her people and her, they took the government route. So I agree with both. I just think this would be a more relevant route to go in light of what we're facing right now in America. We don't need black nationalism. We don't need. We need more so Pan-Africanism. We don't need black nationalism. I think that's an old written story that's kind of out the window now. I think you can infuse Native American culture with Pan-Africanism because that's Moorish culture. When you look at what she's wearing in her hair, that's a Moorish headdress. The chains on her neck, that's Moorish headdress because it's Oriental. So when you look at the Siberians coming down from the land bridge and them meeting us in the Midwestern regions near the Great Lakes and over, we've been here a long time cohabitating. Like the guy on the other side of her, these people look very Siberian, right? So you can know like we've been like mixing and stuff like that. Like if you look at her phenotype, her people mixed one time with them. All right, so it's nothing to be confused about. Um, I was just one thinking about like, maybe I should contact another tribe and see if I can get membership enrollment. I'm already on one, but I was trying to see if I can get another one. And then I just thought about like, nah, that's probably not a smart idea, because like I don't want to help an organization who doesn't want to help themselves. Like you have all these African Americans out here, you're not speaking on their issues. That's one top that I should know that I shouldn't, be associated with you. Because if you're not going to fight for my issues, I'm not going to fight for yours. But like if they're speaking about environmental issues, I'm good for it. They're not. I'm not down with it. Like yeah, that's all I want to say really in this video is that this happened 7 years ago and like 224,000 people watched it. So I'm really trying to see like where did we miss out on a beat? Like where did we miss? Cause like she said everything that needed to be said in here. It's like people still didn't understand like what was to be got. Like if I just look at the images and like the people that's in here, that's in these photos, yeah, obviously a lot of them are troll accounts. Yeah, like when you look at an avatar of someone and you look at their name, that's their thoughts. I've always been into technology, but like that's their thoughts. Let's read here. He has a dog right here, so he must know about environmental issues. It says, let me see. Again, it's on Black America. Okay, let's see. Had no idea Native Americans had any type of struggle with police brutality. That's crazy to think about, considering the fact that it's basically unheard of. At least where I am, just outside of Baltimore. Gotta look into this. Let me see. Like if a person doesn't know about police brutality and Native Americans, like where have you been? I guess like if you consider like blacks not Native American, because like they deal with the most police brutality. So I'm trying to figure that out. Like indigenous people, period, have a problem. That's why I always say like look at the seals in some of these towns and cities and states. If you look at Mississippi seals, they're great seals. Like they're almost all indigenous. Then you look at I don't want to say indigenous, but they're almost all environmental looking. They have the Indian head on there with the feathers. Then it's the same thing for Chicago. Like their seal, they has the Indian out there and he's watching the sunrise. So like that can also be looked adversely as watching the sunset. So that in itself, like we deal with police brutality. Like I don't think it gets more indigenous than Chicago. Like I think Chicagoans, like the way they talk, our language, the way we handshake, like our handshakes with one another, outside and inside the gangs. It's the most like the way we footwork. Everything's indigenous about Chicago. Like Chicago has the richest culture in the world to me. That's just me personally. They have the richest people as far as culture and personality. So let's see what she says. Thank you, Breakfast Club. Great to hear from our indigenous brothers and sisters. So is she going to start wearing a feather in her head? You know what I mean? Like, is she going to embrace her indigenous heritage? Is she going to marry outside our race? Like, those are things that we should, like, I love to interview and ask her a question like that. Like, what does she think about us embracing our heritage and like embracing like the long scope of things? So like it's very rare that you get to see people who talk about so here she is right here. She made a statement. It's really not this deep. My mother was full blood Native American from Pine Ridge, South Dakota, and my father was black. I'm African American, Afro American, whatever you label him, from Brooklyn, New York. I come from two great nations. My mother did a phenomenal job raising my brother, and I to be proud of him, two great descendants. I learned the ways of African and Black culture. She taught me my Dakota African culture. It was great outside of my home that treated me mean because of my color and skin touching. I was picked on by Black, Native, Latino, and white people because they thought I was adopted because I didn't look like my mother. So this is her real mother looks like her real mother looks Hispanic, right? Um, so again, like when you look at that region, they mix with the Siberian, so that's why she looks this way. Her mother looks 100% Siberian, right? So when you look at her mother, I haven't seen her father, but when you look at her mother, they have the same facial structure. So like it's not that deep, man. It's not that deep. So her father must have been very dark because she came out dark. So like when you look at that, so that's a saying basically saying I'm glad we met and I'll see you later. Um, so like I just sit here and I think to myself like there shouldn't even be any hate in the world because like the largest growing people in the world are mulattoes. So that tells me that races are getting along if they're mixing. You know what I mean? So Black men are getting their women and their men are getting our women. I mean, I just sit to the side and I just watch it. You know what I mean? Because like they're messing up the fabric of the earth to begin with, like by doing all this mixing. They're messing it up. Because look, if you read the Bible, we started off as tribes, and we all the tribe told us like when you read the Bible and it says stuff like go out of Egypt, do not be a slave bonded to torture. When it says stuff like that, it means that. So like when you see people when you see um when you see that Abraham's sons didn't necessarily get along, Abraham, Ishmael and Isaac, when you see that they didn't get along and stuff like that lets you know like we're repeating history by watching what is happening right now. We're repeating history. Um, we're repeating history. Like we're not going to all get along. I think like the mixing and stuff like that, like it's your choice. But I think we shouldn't do it because like it creates further problems, not only with your DNA, but like with just the environment in general. As far as like you said, she experienced hate. So that's what we've been dealing with all this time. People be being lynched in these small towns, these sundown towns. Like it's all hate, man. And it's because of the way you look. It's not just your skin color, it's the way that you look. So when it says when Leviticus 19:19 says, don't sow the wrong seed, it means that. Don't marry outside your race. I got that shirt too. Leviticus 19:19. I wear that shirt. But like it tells you not to, not go outside your race. Let's look at some more. I gotta subscribe to her. All right, so she was live 2 years ago. All right, so she's so like she sees that she's darker, right? Her mother is basically Siberian, right? So like she sees herself in us, and she's really not mulatto. Like her father genes, like basically she's her father basically. I wish I can show you her mother because like her mother is this is her mother right here. You see how she looks? And her father is dark, right? So like she comes out looking like a full-blown African American. So it's like, how do you escape that? All right, so she has Nuri Muhammad up here, and she's darker than Nuri Muhammad, and he's talking about black nationalism, and she's talking about Native American. So like, how does that work? So you gotta really overthink things when you see them for when you see things for what it is. You gotta really overthink it. So let's see what he has to say. This is a brother right here. This interview was great. Glad the Breakfast Club shed light on what goes unnoticed on a day-to-day basis. So he saw it coming already. I don't think he makes videos, but like he saw it coming already. He does. All right, so he's not active. And see, this is what I mean. Like, we need people on here uploading videos, man. Like, letting people know that we active out here and we talking about environmental issues and everything. So he says, I am an Asian and I have deep respect to all indigenous people of America, and which means both indigenous people of South and North America, Europeans, African, and Asians are outsiders in America. All right, so he told the truth right there. His name is, no, I don't know his name. He says wrong notes. But like, he's telling the truth right there. So like, this is what I mean. How are we, like, where are we headed if we don't tell the truth about our existence? Like, we wake up in the morning and we just live a lie. That has to be very uncomfortable. Like, you just living every day, just living a lie. Like, you're not being honest with yourself. You're not being honest with your habits or, you know, the way that you greet and talk to people. You're not being honest. This is why that's why I'm prejudiced. Like, I look at people before I even speak to them and coexist with them. You know what I mean? You know, so, okay, she probably said it in this video. Let me see. She probably said it in this video.
Real people. My daughter's in second grade and she had to do a report.
Well, it's because it's an awakening of truth. Once you know the truth, then things are going to change. The FBI was wanting to shut this down in country without their permission. Basically coming in there and messing up the water and messing up the earth and everything, what things that we need to thrive on, our fresh waters, our air, all of that. And
so you see her DNA, right? She's very dark. She's my complexion, right? You see how she looks, right? She needs oxygen cells. Like, people don't understand, like, the problems that we go through when we can't get what we need in order to survive. It's torture. We need oxygen cells to survive. So we need our oranges, we need our fruits, we need our bananas, we need our kiwis, we need our fruit. So, like, you see how she looks and she's talking about environmental issues. Like, it's very important.
This oil pipeline. So that is a major fight, as well as the stealing of land still. So even the little parts of reservation land that we have, major corporations are coming in and stealing that land or leasing the land and not giving it back to the people. We have sex trafficking. Native American women, a lot of people don't talk about it, but Native American women are they have been looked upon as being sex, like, really sexual, like, oh, I should, long hair and, it's just like a Pocahontas cartoon,
yeah.
And so men have.
Now, me personally, I've never been attracted to women outside of my race, outside of my hue. I used to like caramel women a lot, but like, I really like dark skinned women. But that comes with age. Like, when you're young, you just out of pattern. You know what I'm saying? You're horny, you just out of pattern. You're not really thinking. You're using your phallus is your brain at that point. So that's called human growth hormones. So you never stop a child's human growth hormones. They're experiencing age, they're aging, and they're coming into maturity. So you never stop a child's growth hormones. So she talks about that pipeline. That's interesting. So you run. So we talked about this the other day. Like you run an oil pipeline through a certain territory. So it's letting out is poisoning the air for one. They do this a lot. I noticed. Like, and so she has a Hennessy bottle behind her. But like they do this a lot. When you're talking about toxicness, you gotta guard. You gotta guard your loving your environment the most you can. You gotta guard it. I don't know what better way to say it. You have to guard your environment, and they tried to do this, and it didn't work. They came out there Standing Rock, and they tried, and it didn't work. I'm always thinking like, when does it stop? Because that pipeline or with that oil in it, if it breaks and get into the water, and it probably already has, it's going to cause issues for the environment. Because I always say, like, we don't need cars. We just need transportation. We're trying to get somewhere. We can get there. We can just walk to the next village. Because I think like once people realize that guns are off the street, more people will come outside and walk. Nobody's going to come outside and walk if there's guns on the street. If there's a form of weapon on the street, like there's some, and I noticed this, like in the UK, they have stabbings a lot, but people still walk around. So like when people notice like they can come outside and that's not going to be issues, they'll do that. But the environment that we speak of, like it doesn't need oil, refined oil. We don't need refined oil because it's already oil. And if you have to refine it, it's not any good. So this stuff can spill into the soil and mess up somebody's crops. This stuff is already in the air creating chemtrails and air bubbles and clouds. It's already creating it. You haven't woke up a day in the summer where there hasn't been clouds, or in the winter where there hasn't been clouds. This is why we get 4 seasons, because the environment is so toxic. It freezes over and the globe heats up. So that lets me know there's 2 extremes. So there's a polarity. So if there's a polarity, that means it's trying to get rid of something, or it's having an explosion of something new. That's the law of duality.
Many men fantasize off of that, and they have been trafficking our women even throughout Canada. Is so huge in this area. So sex trafficking, meth, many drug dealers and people are coming into Native American communities because it's out of sight, out of mind. They could build these meth labs. So meth is so huge. And of course, alcoholism, as well as suicide.
Right.
So these are the fighting for our...
Blame Franklin Roosevelt for that, because he repealed that amendment where alcohol was not supposed to be transported. And it is now. You see, she's sitting in front of 2 Hennessy bottles. All right, so that happened. We're not supposed to have these stores popping up in our community. There was a video the other day of a guy, my uncle, he sent it to me. He sent me a video because he always sends me videos. He sent me a video of a guy, he was Ku Klux Klan. And like, he was saying like we pop up in the stores and we sell, because it was a white couple in my community and they was selling liquor to us. And I was trying to figure out like, why are they selling liquor to the people here? And they don't even live in a community. But like soon as after my mother gave them that dog, because I had a puppy, she gave him a dog because we didn't want it anymore. They closed that store down. They closed it down. Like, it's still there. It's probably liquor still in there, but they closed it down. It's been vacant for years now. But you see, like, the Greeks, they just pop up in a community. The Arabs, they pop up in a community and they sell liquor. They sell gas. Everything that's toxic to you, they sell it to you. All right, so like why not just accept that you? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know their situation, man. I don't know if they're getting benefits. They have to be getting benefits on the side, but I don't know what makes you think I'm going to support you if you're just going to come to the community and sell us hot flamings, sell us this dairy milk, cigarettes and alcohol. You're just going to come to the community and sell it to us and think we're going to buy it. Like, that should have already been an executive order passed on the local level by the city council, explaining to them, like, either close shop or don't sell anymore. You know what I mean? Just giving them no ultimatum, pretty much. They haven't, like, no one has done that yet. You know what I mean? Like, they just let the people come into the community and take advantage of these indigenous populations over and over and over. So, like, our only trade is with Asians. Asians are the only people that don't come into the community and take advantage of us. It's usually Arabs who are violating human laws and human rights. It's usually them. But like Asians, I'm talking about Chinese specifically. They don't come in selling alcohol to everybody. Like, if they come in the community, they coming in here with a Kia. They're not coming in here with a car they just bought off a lot that's going to break down. Like, they coming in here to start trade, like serious trade. So like, we're on a business level with them where we have a great trade. They're great trade partners as far as we getting free labor from them. Like, we get free labor from them, and then they also accept our form of currency. So like, if we get free labor from them and they accept our form of currency, they pretty much don't want none. They just giving us gifts. Like, you see, what's the guy name? Jay Electronica. He had a video and he was showing like how Asians get up to go to work every day, and they do that in mass. And he showed how they work in the factories and how they produce and how disciplined they are. Like, they just give us stuff, man. Like, and like, you have to remember those times, because like, we stopped our industry in America and let them handle everything. All right. So what happens when you let your big brother and your little brother handle everything? No, what happens when you let your big brothers handle everything, and then you got the little brothers like the Arabs coming over here, they throwing a fit. Like, you all left your countries to come here as refugees and asylum seekers to do what? Have sex with the women who are strippers, sell alcohol to the gangs and weed bags to the gangs. Because I used to see that growing up as a child in Chicago. Like, those Mediterranean people, they used to come into the community and like sell weed bags to like the young people, and the young people would go home and put marijuana in and stand on corners and sell it to people. And like, they'll always get caught because they will always be standing on corners. They only do that in Chicago. Like, people here in Detroit, they don't stand on corners. They don't stand on blocks really either. But like, that's what I'm saying, man. She makes a great, like, everything she says about the environment is like right on. And like, I feel where she's coming from. I don't even know her astrology sign, but like, I feel where she's coming from, because like, my grandmother, she's of lighter complexion, and my grandfather's of darker complexion. Her mother is of lighter complexion, and her father is of darker complexion. So I know she understands where I'm coming from, because all my siblings, we don't look alike. None of us. None of us look alike. So we have to agree on that. So let me just hear the rest of this.
The Mother Earth. We don't say that we own this land. Right. We are the caretakers of this land. And that's what we believe that God, Tagashala, Wakantanka, the Great Spirit, has put, give us that responsibility to take care of Mother Earth.
Just my final question. How do you feel when you hear, like, sometimes you hear Ku Klux Klan members, they'll tell black people, go back to your country. In my mind, I'm like, this ain't your country neither.
Yo, Donald Trump and his people, they are just ignorant.
Right.
Word.
It's ignorant. And indigenous people, meaning brown and red people and even black people, were here before they came. So y'all go back to
Right.
Europe.
When you say brown, you mean
Latinos,
Latinos,
I
okay.
would say Spanish-speaking indigenous people. The
Right.
only thing that divides us is that one speaks Spanish and one speaks our our language. But we're the same people.
All right.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. Tell them your name again.
Let me just say this, because she didn't want to say black, but I understood what she meant. Like, black people indigenous to the entire globe, man. They form civilizations. Like, when I look at the Sudanese people, I just think, like, Sudanese people, this is their globe. Like, you can't tell them where they can't go and where they can go, because we red. Like, we mixed in somewhere along the line. Sudanese people, they probably mixed once, but like they're completely black. Like, they didn't really do no mixing. So like, it's funny to me when people try to come at Africans and tell them where they can and can't go. Like, she made some valid points, but like, Africans, this is their globe, man. We can't tell them where they can go because they hold the secrets and the keys. Look, if you look at their councils, like they even have they have every form of government on their land. They have their own export and import services. The only thing that they don't have is just like, they don't have a way to stop people from impeding on them. They don't have that. They don't have that privilege yet. I would say they don't have that right. It's not a privilege. They don't have that right yet. Like us in America, like everybody's around us. Everybody. There's no Latinos in Africa. All right, the only people in Africa, like who's there? Like who's there? Like what? I don't know. Chinese, Japanese, maybe. I don't even think it's really Japanese, like a huge population of Japanese in some of these countries. But you look at America, our downtown areas, it's people around, like it's people doing trade. It's people doing trade there who like shouldn't be doing trade on some of them posts. Cause like if someone does something injurious to you, like, and you like, cause look at it this way. A lot of these businesses don't have licenses because they don't follow the ordinance codes, and like nobody says anything to them about it. Like I could remember like reporting a store in my community because it didn't have its business license number posted in public view. Because in Michigan you have to post the license number in public view. So when you do something wrong, you're going to get reported to the licensing bureau. And like a lot of these liquor stores, they don't have their numbers in public view. They don't have their license number. So like they're just running these stores and like the products be spoiled. They be having, some of them be selling porn in these gas stations. Luckily, like children don't just go to some of these gas, like you're not gonna, like in Chicago, you growing up, right? You coming out the projects and you going across the street to the store. You like 12, 13 years old. You don't see 9-year-old, 10-year-olds going to the gas station in Detroit. Like it's mainly just people hopping out of cars, going in the gas station and getting gas. Detroit is not a place that's friendly for just walking around. You're not going to walk to the gas station. That's why you have yards. But you're not just going to just walk to the gas station and if you're 10 years old and get a bottle of lemonade juice, 100% lemonade juice. You're not just going to walk to the store and get that. So like, she's talking about environment issues. She's talking about everything above the mark. When you think about it that way, how are we going to get these Greeks, these Arabs out of our communities and think about like going to the next phase? Because like I be thinking like they don't sell, because look, they've interrupted the trades. they don't sell like what can I say? They don't sell like organic products at these corner stores and these bodegas in New York. They don't sell organic stuff. They don't sell like healthy stuff. They sell you Fritos. They sell you Vienna chips. They sell you now and laters blueberry muffins and let me see, chocolate bars called Snickers, Paydays. They sell you stuff with high fructose corn syrup. Like we never see like whole food products in like corner stores. We never saw a corner store that's like a sub chain of like Whole Foods.
Could you try again?
1 second.
If you have another request, you don't need to say Siri before you ask
1 second. And they don't. It's not a sub chain for Whole Foods that's like on our corners at our gas stations. They're selling us stuff that they've had already packaged and just getting it out of a store and recycling in our community. All right. I've been victim to that sometimes where like I didn't have a way to get to the store. I just wasn't feeling like going to the store. And I just, hey, let me get some chips and I'm out of here. I used to do that when I was younger. Like now I don't go to those stores no more. And like we look at environmental issues, like it's the same thing, man. It's the same thing.
Can't pronounce it.
Thank you for having me.
Tell them your name.
It's your Najaha Lone Wolf.
Happy Indigenous People Day.
Yo, Najaha Longwell, can you say it?
No.
Come on, do that again. I like that. Do that call again. That's dope.
You wanna do it with me?
Happy Indigenous People Day. Did I say it right? Did I do it right?
Well, the women do that though.
Keep doing it.
Just stand there.
I don't want disrespect.
So Palamiya Wopila, which means thank you.
And with Columbus Day now, slowly they're trying to make that National Indigenous Peoples Day. What about Thanksgiving? Is anything ever going to happen, you think?
Boycott Thanksgiving, boycott Christmas, boycott all of that. That is not for our people.
What do y'all do on Thanksgiving? Like those that are here, what do y'all do?
Boycott it. Many, but there's so many that do not know the real, even Native Americans don't even know that history.
Right.
And because a lot of us didn't learn each other's tribes. So as I've been touring the country with my grandfather, with the minister, I've been learning about all the different tribes and languages and everything and what their customs are. But as a whole, yes.
Valid points. I remember like I just woke up one day, man, and I walked outside like everybody was wearing skinny jeans. I was the only person wearing like baggy clothes. You know what I mean? And I didn't know where they was getting these jeans from because like my clothes is heavy on me. Like I didn't know where they was getting them from. And I was confused, like, what is a skinny jean? Like, I was confused, like, all the young people just grew up to start wearing it, right? Like, it just hit me, and I just didn't know, like, because, like, you can go years without communicating to people, and, like, you'll start to find out, like, you've missed out on a lot of stuff, because that's how Detroit is. Like, you just miss out on what's happening in the world. It's a safe haven for some. Because, like, you think, like, because, like, the skinny jean thing, like, they drop stuff in Chicago, like, profusely. Asians wear skinny jeans. Like, they just dropped it on Chicagoans. Like, you see, they talk about metrosexuals. Right after Kanye West started dropping albums, that's when they started coming out with people who wear the skinny jeans and wear the bright colors. Like, before that, we was wearing baggy clothes. And so, like, when she says that, like, all the tribes didn't get to know one another, like, she means that because, like, we lose out on meeting each other when we stay to ourselves. And, like, I just noticed that, man. That's powerful. I just noticed that. So it's at the end. I'll just let it play out.
we're supposed to boycott it.
Okay.
We're supposed to protest, but some individually still celebrate and turn it into their own giving of thanks.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate you again for stopping through,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
giving us some knowledge.
Thank you.
And it's the
for
Breakfast Club.
having
Good
me.
morning.
All right, so you can see this date, and she says, Palamiwa means thank you. So look, 10/12/2015, Indigenous Day. So in 2 months, Indigenous Day is going to be here. So the end of tours next month, and 12 more days. It's going to be Indigenous Peoples Day. We just had World International Indigenous Peoples Day, and no one said anything about it. I hope people, I hope their ceremonies and adventures that's going to be on this day for this year, 2024. Hopefully, I can be able to make a couple videos that day, recognizing it, and I hope there's content for me to cover, because like I would like to, revisit some of the stuff that I was spoken about. You all have a good one. Great peace. Yakoki.